Quick, like and subscribe for insane luck in every game. What is going on, everybody? I'm back making another video, and in today's video, I've got another list of the most underrated, undervalued pets in Pet Simulator X. I made this video almost 2 weeks ago, but it was with 20 pets, and a lot of those pets have actually rose. Like I mentioned White Balloon in that video, how there's only 450 exist, and it rose from like 275 billion all the way up to 950 billion. Same thing with Kraken. I mentioned that in the last video, and it went from like 300 billion to 700 billion. So I hope you guys made a lot of profit. You gotta stay on the lookout for really rare pets. But yeah, in today's video, we have the top 5 most underrated pets that I really think that you guys should try to buy, if you can, obviously. But these are some extremely underrated pets that I guarantee are going to rise more in the future. I'm so confident about these pets rising in the future that I'm literally willing to say I guarantee they will at least rise a little bit. So starting off at number 5, we have the huge safari dog. Now, before you guys go, oh, what safari dog? That's a gross pet. Just listen. The safari cat has over 2,000 exist, and it gets over 200 billion diamonds. The safari dog only has 200 exist, and if you look at the value list, it's only worth 113 billion. You can get the safari dog for way cheaper than the safari cat right now. And even the safari cat is a little bit undervalued for how rare it is, which is the crazy part. So safari dog is super undervalued. Now, if you do the math, we've had 3 weeks with the safari dog, and with 200 hatched, divide that by 3 weeks, there's only 66 hatched on average. And if you guys remember the safari cat, people used to care about the scavenger hunt way more months ago whenever it was just the safari cat. So the safari cat was getting hatched like over 100 per week, especially towards the beginning. The safari dog's only been getting hatched 66 times per week on average, plus they now are doing bi-weekly updates, which means an update only every 2 weeks. So 66 times 2, that's only going to be like 132 of these hatched per month, because we're only getting 2 updates a month. And if you go off of how long the safari cat was out, I think it was like 4 months or something. So if we can guess that the safari dog's only going to be out for 4 months, then let's do 132 times 3 is 396, and then plus the 200 that already exist from weekly updates the past few weeks. In my guess, there's going to be less than 600 safari dogs total, which means it's going to be more rare than Angelus, and it's going to literally 10 times in value. It should not be getting 100 billion unless there's gonna be like 4,000 hatched or something. It should not be getting only 113 billion. I think that's what it says on the value list. Now, even if I'm wrong and there's not gonna be under 600, there's definitely gonna be under 1,000. Just with how slow it's getting hatched, people aren't gonna just start hatching this like crazy, especially because updates are only every 2 weeks. We're only gonna get the safari dog probably 6 or 7 more times. So in my guess, there's gonna be like 600, 700, maybe 800 or 900 safari dogs, and it's going to be worth 5, 6, 7, 800 billion instead of 113 billion. So this pet is something you definitely want to invest in before it skyrockets, because it's a lot like the Kraken. Not many exist, and people know that it's going to go limited eventually. That's why the Kraken is already rising so much, but the safari dog hasn't yet. So take advantage of it while you can and get some safari dogs, because they're going to be way more rare than safari cat, and you can literally get like 2 safari dogs with a safari cat almost, which is just crazy. The safari dog is so undervalued. Okay, so next up on the list is the huge Kraken. Now, I know we already talked about the Kraken last episode, and it already rose a lot. It rose from like 300 something billion to 700 billion. But I think it might rise even more. That's why people really want overpays for it, and they're really hoarding it. So if you can get lucky enough to get a huge kraken before they're all gone, because a lot of people are collecting full teams of krakens and not trading them until they go limited. So if you can get lucky enough to get yourself a huge kraken while it's still somewhat kind of cheap, then I would, because there's only 360 krakens and there's 736 huge and jealous. And as you guys know, huge and jealous gets like 850 billion. I think that the huge kraken's going to be even more rare than huge and jealous, because not that many people are going to keep opening up the huge machine egg before it's gone. My guess is there's going to be like 450 or 500 krakens, which means once it goes limited, it's going to be probably over $1 trillion value. So even though it's 700 billion right now, which is already kind of a lot, the fact that it could rise to well over $1 trillion because of how rare it's going to be means you should probably still get some if you can, because it's a super high demand pet. Everyone's trying to collect them, and it could end up being way more rare than Angelus. That's why everyone's collecting them. I already gave everyone a heads up on the kraken in my video 2 weeks ago, so it's already kind of high. So if you didn't already get it on the kraken, you still can. You just won't make as much profit, obviously, unless you got in like weeks ago when it was only worth 300-400 billion. But coming up next on the list is the huge crowned corgi, and I also talked about this in the last undervalued pets video, but I didn't elaborate as much as I should have. So the crowned corgi has 30 exist, and what happened was there was a few duped serial numbers, number 20, number 22, and the most famous duped crown corgi is number 24 serial number. Those dupes are pretty much all gone. There's not really dupes anymore, but the whole reason crown corgi dropped to as low as it is because of those dupes. But now that the dupes are gone, I feel like it's time for crowned corgi to come back, because 30 exist and it only gets 5 trillion. So what you're saying is I would need like 5 crowned corgis to go and buy a titanic hippo melon, when the titanic hippo melon has over double the amount exist, which doesn't even make any sense. Plus, crowned corgi only has a few for trade in the game. It says 30 exist. It's more like 4 exist, because the other 26 are either big YouTubers or big spenders, collectors that aren't trading them, or they're inactive accounts. I'm telling you, there's literally only a few crowned corgis in the game. It is literally one of the rarest pets in the entire game. So for it to only be getting 5 trillion, which is barely enough for a titanic with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds exist, it doesn't make any sense at all, because the crowned corgi literally has a few existing. Go try to find a crowned corgi. I bet you won't be able to. It's going to be the same few people. There's literally only a few crowned corgis being traded in the game. So honestly, I know that like 99.99% of people watching this video can't afford a crowned corgi. I understand that, but I just had to talk about it because the only reason it dropped so hard was because of the dupes, but the dupes are pretty much gone. And that brings us into the number 2 spot. Have I been counting down, or have I been counting up? I think I've been doing this top 5 a little bit wrong. But yeah, we're now in the top final 2. Leaving off on the last note with dupes, I want to talk about huge Santa paws, because the only reason this pet is undervalued is because it got mass duped like a year ago. And if you guys have ever seen the message pop up, a pet has been deleted from your inventory because it was duped. I guarantee a lot of people have seen that message, or at least know of friends that have seen that message. All the dupes have been getting wiped from the game for over half a year now, because Preston has a really good development team and duping's not really a thing anymore. Like, the game is actually running smoothly and you don't see people all of a sudden have a full inventory of the same pet. That stuff used to happen a long time ago, like over a year ago, but I'm telling you, the remainder of the huge Santa paws are not duped. There might be a few still floating out there by the very rare chance, but it's not like there's an extra 1,000 Santa paws. There might be a few dupes left out there on random accounts that just haven't been deleted yet. But other than that, huge Santa paws only getting a little over 200 billion is kind of crazy. This pet should definitely rise to upwards of 300 billion, because like huge sombrero chihuahua is already getting like 300 billion from a lot of people, and Santa paws is more rare. I honestly think that Santa paws should be getting 300 billion. The only reason it's getting a little over 200 is because it used to be super duped. Keyword used to be, and I don't think a lot of people realize that stuff that used to be duped isn't really duped anymore, which is a good thing. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about the final pet of the video. This is the #1 most underrated pet, and I've already been talking about this on live streams, and I also mentioned it in my last video. So I've been talking about this pet for weeks, and not many people are listening to me, but for the people that do listen to me, you will thank me later. The final pet that I'm talking about is the huge diamond cat. Now, before you click off the video and say, you don't even know how rare diamond cat is, well, we can make a very educated guess. If you go down into the shop and you look at the diamond cat, it is a 1% chance out of a 4,500 Robux pack, which means it's 1 out of 100 to get this. So if we do 4,500, obviously times 100, it's 450,000. Almost 500,000 Robux on average to hatch the huge diamond cat. If you spent 4.5 million Robux, literally 4.5 million Robux on buying this, if you bought it 1,000 times, you would most likely only get 10 diamond cats. And the reason I think huge diamond cat is so incredibly rare is because you guys remember the blue balloon. It cost 18,999 Robux. With 18,999 Robux, you could only buy this pack a little bit over 4 times. You would only have a 4% chance of getting the diamond cat if you spent as many Robux as the blue balloon cost. So what would you rather buy, 1 blue balloon or have a 4% chance at the diamond cat? That's why I'm starting to think not that many people bought the huge diamond cat, especially the one with the new diamond bag master enchant. Here, let me just do one more math example for you guys, okay? The blue balloon, the huge blue balloon that cost almost 19,000 Robux, the rainbow on it was a 5%. The rainbow blue balloon was a 5%, which means it was a 1 out of 20 chance. So if we multiply 19,000 by 20, on average, you would have to buy 20 blue balloons to get a rainbow, and it would cost 379,000 Robux. That is still over 70,000 Robux less than the average cost to get the huge diamond cat. Literally, the rainbow blue balloon cost less than the average price of getting the regular huge diamond cat. So I honestly think the huge diamond cat only has a few hundred exist. And right now, if you look at the value list, it gets 260 billion, which is really, really crazy. 260 billion is the amount a pet should be getting with like 1900 exist, not a pet with probably only a few hundred exist. And that's the thing. Nobody knows how rare huge diamond cat is, so a lot of people just forgot about it. They're trying to get Titanics, they're trying to get the new jelly pets from the new update. People literally just forgot about diamond cats. And I honestly think there's only a few hundred diamond cats. So instead of it getting 260 billion, I think it could get well over a trillion. I'm not even kidding. The huge Angelus with 736 exist gets almost a trillion. The huge blue balloon with 1,058 exist gets over 700 billion. And if you guys remember, this pet only cost 19,000 Robux. With 19,000 Robux, it would only be a 4% chance to get the huge diamond cat. Only a 4% chance with the price of the huge blue balloon. So I honestly think there might only be like 200 or 300 huge diamond cats, and there's probably like 500 at the absolute maximum. I highly doubt there's more than 500 diamond cats with just how expensive expensive it is to get. People don't really do the math on the huge diamond cat, so nobody even tried to take a guess as to how many exist. So it just has some random value like 260 billion. Like, how does that even make sense? You can buy this pack 5 times and you'll have enough diamonds to go get a huge diamond cat. And if the huge diamond cat ever goes limited, it'll start showing the amount exist. I don't know if it's ever going to go limited. I don't know if it's ever going to show the amount exist, but a lot of people are already collecting them, and it's raising already because, like I said, I've been mentioning this in live streams for weeks. I've been mentioning this in my other rising video like almost 2 weeks ago. So if I buy a couple diamond cats myself, you guys can't get mad because I've been mentioning this for weeks and weeks. So hopefully people start realizing how rare the huge diamond cat is, and hopefully it'll go limited one day and we can see if I was actually correct. But if you just do the math on it, the huge diamond cat has gotta be super rare. At least as rare as like Huge and Jealous, which is getting over 800 billion. So the huge diamond cat getting 260 billion, it really does not make sense. I'm just gonna be honest, it really does not make sense. Only getting 260 billion, that's the price of a pet that has like 2,000 exist almost. So I really don't know why it's so low in value when it's so expensive to get, and most likely only has a couple hundred exist. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I was able to help some of you all out. I know that some of these pets are a little bit expensive, but I'm talking about the most undervalued and rare pets in the game. So I'm sorry if I wasn't talking about stuff that you can afford, but there isn't really anything that's super rare that's gonna rise a lot that is cheap enough for everybody to afford. So for the ones I was able to help out, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy, hit the like button, comment some ideas for more future videos down below, and subscribe if you have not already. I'll see you all in the next one very soon. Peace out, everybody.